Okay, what's going on? Okay, guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? We're all keeping well. Let's just wait for this live stream to fill up and then we'll go. We'll start taking your guys' messages. Okay. Okay. How's it going anyway? How's it going? So we've had quite a bit of news lately about Pacquiao, about Terence Crawford. What do you guys make of all of the news lately? What do you make of all of the latest news about Pacquiao, Crawford, Errol Spence now? Manny Pacquiao could be fighting Errol Spence. What do you make of all the news, guys? Hi, Richard. I hope you're well. Felix Cash. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about some of the weekend's action. Yeah, Felix Cash beat Denzel Bentley. Great performance. Very good performance. Wasn't expecting him to look so good. I wasn't expecting him to be so emphatic. The performance was emphatic, actually. He put a lot of pressure on Denzel Bentley. And Denzel Bentley couldn't cope with that extreme pressure. And he crumbled. He crumbled. It was a great performance, man. Great performance by Felix Cash. You got to give him credit. Got to give him respect for that performance. It was unbelievable. I didn't expect him to be. I didn't expect him to beat Denzel Bentley so comfortably. You know, it was a great performance for sure. Yeah. So Pacquiao Spence in July. I hope so. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not sure that, it's definitely going to happen, but we hope so. We hope it does happen. It'll be great for boxing. It'll be great for those two getting it on. But Spence apparently is not interested. Spence wants a fight with Ugas for the belts. He said it's strap season. He wants to collect all the belts, and Pacquiao hasn't got a belt. So I'm not sure whether Spence is interested, which would be quite disappointing, to say the least. It would definitely be quite disappointing if Spence is not interested in that fight, because I want to see it. I want to see Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao without question. That would be a great fight. Be a great fight for the fans. Did you see that MMA fighter break his leg at weekend? It was brutal. I didn't. I saw Kamaru Usman knock out Jorge Masvidal. I saw that. That was a viral knockout, so to speak. That knockout went viral. I'm pretty sure all of you guys saw that. What a viral knockout! What a knockout! What a punch! Little G, how are you, my friend? So it's not official yet. No, it's not official. The Pacquiao and Crawford stuff. I mean, Pacquiao and Spence stuff is not official yet. Hopefully, it can become official eventually, and we can get these guys in the ring, man. I want to see these guys fight each other really badly. I really want to see Pacquiao and Spence fight one another. Everyone in the live stream that's in, smash the like button. I'd appreciate it. Smash the like button, guys. I'd appreciate everyone in the live stream to smash the like button. Let's get those likes up. So yeah, there were some good fights on the weekend. The other fights, what was the other fights? There was another one on that card, wasn't there? That David Adelaide and that Camille. That was apparently the fight. Camille deserved to win that fight, and he didn't get the decision, which was really, really a poor decision. A poor decision. Very poor decision, to say the least. And David Adelaide ended up getting a gift. He needs to rematch that guy, because most people that I saw, and most people thought he lost the fight. I watched the highlights, and listen, the decisions by judges are very poor, very, very poor. I think it's very, very poor to say the least. And I think this judging situations needs to be looked into, because you're going to get a lot of top fighters not wanting to come to the UK, because let's be honest, the judging has been very poor. We've been seeing these poor decisions time and time again. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. It's not acceptable. I feel like fighters coming from abroad should be getting a fair shake, and they're not getting a fair shake. They're getting very poor decisions. So yeah, hopefully that can all be sorted. So Richard says, who will Crawford fight? Got to be Porter or Thurman, surely. Yeah, it has to be Porter or Thurman. I think Porter's probably the more likely. Thurman's probably going to want a lot of money. I think Porter's going to be the more realistic option for Terence Crawford. And hopefully they can get that fight on. Crawford and Porter. It's a good fight. Very good fight. Tough fight for Crawford, but one that I think he should pass. One that I think he should come through. It's a fight that I want to see. I want to see Crawford in there with all the top guys. Let's be honest. Crawford should be fighting all the best guys. We've not seen Crawford in there with the big names. Hopefully, Crawford can get a big name welterweight, and Porter's definitely a good solid welterweight for Terence Crawford. So that'd be a great fight. Be a great fight. Reno Vleva, greetings from Virginia. Spence shows weakness if he doesn't fight Manny. Yeah, I want to see that fight, man. I want to see Spence fight Manny Pacquiao. But Spence right now, he wants to collect all the belts. So he's saying he doesn't want the Manny Pacquiao fight. I'm actually going to do a video about that just to say, you know what, I'm a little bit disappointed. Like normally these guys would jump to a Manny Pacquiao fight. I'm quite surprised Spence is not interested. You know, it's a bit crazy, that he's not interested. I don't understand. I would expect Spence to be jumping at that fight, but you know, from what the reports are, that Spence not really interested. Spence ain't really interested, so surprised. Rocky boy, we all know it's Pac v Mikey. Yeah, that's what it was initially said. Pacquiao v Mikey was the one that was initially talked about, but then that disappeared. And then we heard about McGregor. Then we heard about Crawford. Then we heard about, now we're hearing about Spence. You know, it's Manny Pacquiao has been linked with everyone recently. Let's be real. He's been linked with everyone. But it just seems like getting the signature on the contract seems the hardest bit. Now there's rumors about Spence. But Spence apparently has said that Spence wants to fight. He wants to fight Ugas to collect another belt. Last belt boxing chat. I hope you're well. In the house. Yep. Appreciate you coming in. Crawford has 2 years of his prime fighting. He should get every big fight you can get. Listen, how are you, Nooney? First of all, I hope you're well. Listen, Crawford's 33, I believe. Crawford's 33, right? He hasn't got long left. He hasn't got long left in the game. Is he going to be one of those fighters that is going to waste away his prime searching for a big fight? He's like Andrade. I personally think Andrade is past his best. I don't think Andrade's the fighter he was. So is Crawford going to be in the same position where he's going to waste away? He's going to waste away his prime, not getting the big fights. You know, it's disappointing, man. It's disappointing that we're not getting these big fights. Last bell boxing chat says Parker beats Chisora this weekend. Yeah, it's a good one. I don't know, man. I'm fancying Chisora in that one. I've not been impressed with Parker, if I'm honest with you. I feel like Parker's been a disappointment for me. You know, I had a lot of high hopes in Parker, but Parker's not impressed. He didn't look great in the Huey Fury. Ever since the Takam fight, I just feel like his stock's gone down. Ever since the Huey Fury fight, it was a poor performance. Then the Joshua performance, not great. I think he stank the place out a little bit. Then, you know, the Dillian White fight, he was another favorite in that fight. He was favored in that fight, and he lost that one. Again, like that, killer instinct, like that killer instinct that a top fighter needs. Then against Razvan Kanjanu, he didn't look great. Then he didn't look great against Junior Farr. Yeah, he's just been very poor. He's been very poor. It's been a downward spiral for Joseph Parker. And Derek Chisora, although he loses to a lot of the top guys, Derek Chisora brings the heat. We saw against Usyk, he brought it. And I just think the pressure that I think he could outwork Parker. Parker don't like getting roughed up, and he could outwork Parker. Parker's gonna have to show me something, because let's be honest, Derek Chisora is a lot better than Takam. And when you look at it, for me, Parker's best performance was against Takam, and even that was a performance where Takam pressured him and made it uncomfortable for him. Parker's just not impressed. He looked good, all the flashy moves, but I just feel like he's just not really impressed. He's not really impressed for some reason. I don't know what it is with Joseph Parker. He's just not impressed me. Navrate v Diaz was good. Yeah, it was. Navrate looks a very, very good fighter. Very, very good fighter. Dangerous fighter. I'm looking forward to who he fights next in the 126-pound division. Chisora, Parker, and Eubank, Katie Taylor, plus Sonny Edwards all fight on Saturday. Should be a good weekend for boxing. Yeah, I don't think it's pay-per-view, though. I don't think Parker and Chisora should be a pay-per-view fight. Katie Taylor, fair enough, she's on the undercard, and Eubank's on the undercard, but nevertheless, I don't think it's a pay-per-view event. I don't think that's a pay-per-view event, to be honest with you. I don't know what you guys think, but I think I don't think it's a pay-per-view event. Belanga went 8 rounds. Belanga went 8 rounds. Yeah, he went the distance, didn't he? But he's got some serious power. Belanga, he can punch. He really can punch. He's strong. He hits hard and he's tough. I'm looking forward to how he gets on. Belanga. Richard Brown, hope Edwards wins his first world title on Saturday. Yeah, it's a hard one. It's not going to be easy. Very tough fight. Glad Loma is coming back in July. I'm glad as well. Loma v Nakatani. Nakatani's a good fighter, Nakatani gave Teofimo. I remember when Teofimo fought Nakatani, and Teofimo didn't look too good, and everybody started saying that Lopez is a hype job, right? They started saying this guy's a hype job. He got exposed, and Nakatani's, and obviously after that we actually realized that Nakatani is actually a really good fighter. So I actually think that Nakatani is going to be a dangerous fight for Lomachenko. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. I do expect Lomachenko to win, just like everybody else, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy whatsoever. Yeah, Last Bell Boxing says tough fight for Edwards. Yeah, very tough fight. Hopefully he comes through. Hopefully he comes through and wins his first world title. His brother, Charlie Edwards, is a world champion. So hopefully Sonny can follow his footsteps. Burning Desire, I hope you're well. I hope you're well. I hope you're all right. Nooni El Miliano says, I hope you're well as well, Nooni. This card is stacked. No huge name, but quality fights up and down the card. Yeah. No huge names, but quality. It is stacked, don't get me wrong, but it's just I expect, when it's a pay-per-view fight, I expect there to be one stellar. I expect there to be one stellar name and one big huge fight between two stars or two world champions. And I just think the main fight, Parker and Chisora, for me, let's be honest, when we all watch a pay-per-view fight, we all watch it because of the main attraction, the main event. And unfortunately for me, the main event isn't a pay-per-view fight, right? It isn't a pay-per-view fight. And I'm going to buy it because I'm a boxing fan. I'll buy it, but I don't think it's pay-per-view personally. But yeah, you're right, it is stacked. Loma v Nakatani, what do you think? I think it's a tough one. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a good comeback fight for Loma. And I think Nakatani will be a test, be a very hard fight. Nakatani's a good fighter. He's lanky, he's big. And like we know, Loma's not a very big 135-pounder. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. I like the fight. I like the fight. I like the fight for Lomachenko. If he looks good, you know what? I want to see Lomachenko fight Teofimo Lopez, but Teofimo Lopez doesn't seem interested in fighting Lomachenko. What do you guys think about Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez? Do you think Teofimo don't want it? Do you think Teofimo is avoiding that rematch with Lomachenko because he knows deep down that the rematch might go differently? I personally think so. I don't think Lopez wants that rematch. No chance. I think he's kind of won the lottery and he's not going to want to fight Lomachenko again. I'll be very surprised. I don't think he's going to want to give. He's not going to give Lomachenko the opportunity to beat him. So I don't think we'll ever see that fight again, if I'm honest with you. I fancy Nakatani. Wow. I'm quite surprised you fancy Nakatani. I don't fancy Nakatani. I think Loma will win the fight. I think a lot of people, you know what, frustrated me. I made a video about Lomachenko. I'm frustrated that people think that Lomachenko is some kind of hype job. The guy's got one of the best amateur records, one of the best amateurs of all time. The quickest 3-weight world champion in male boxing history. And people calling him a hype job, it really frustrates me. How you can call someone like a Lomachenko, who's a unique and talent, a hype job. Ridiculous as far as I'm concerned. So Burning Desire says, Conor Benn mentioned Khan again, saying he fought Barrera towards the end of his career, but this fight isn't all right for him. I think the Khan-Barrera one was a different situation, though, because Amir Khan never called out Barrera. That fight got made naturally because Barrera knew Khan was a rising star and he felt that he could still get to the top. Amir Khan doesn't really have any ambition anymore, from what he said, to reach the top, to go to the top. So I think it's a completely different scenario. Amir Khan wasn't calling out Barrera. That fight just got made. Conor Benn is calling out Amir Khan. There's a difference. And Barrera at the time, he was still fighting. Amir Khan hasn't fought for ages, and Barrera still had, like I said, Barrera still had ambition of world titles. Amir Khan has clearly said he has no ambition of any world titles. He said that in an interview, that I've won world titles, I'm past my best. He even said he's past his best, which was kind of good as a Khan fan to hear, the fact that, because Amir Khan in the past has always kind of never, at times you think that he never, not to say he never came out with the truth, but you felt like at times he would kid himself. And it's good to know that someone like Amir Khan accepts the fact that he is past his best, because, I don't want to see Amir Khan, get hurt or get knocked out, going into a fight that he shouldn't really be going into, because like I said, I think he's nowhere near his prime anymore, so I think the fights that he takes now have to be very well selected at this stage in your career. And it's not just for Amir Khan, it's for anybody at that stage in their career, that I think their fights need to be very well selected when you're coming towards the end of your career, because, there's some really young lions out there that could do some serious damage. Whether Conor Benn is one of them, I don't know. Like, a lot of people think that, Conor Benn will walk through Amir Khan at this stage in his career. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not that confident, to be honest with you. I'm not that confident. Like, I just still think that even though Amir Khan's way past his best, I still think his offensive ability is very dangerous for Conor Benn. I think he could hurt Conor Benn, but then at the same time, Conor Benn could hurt Amir Khan. But I do think Amir Khan could hurt Conor Benn, because Amir Khan hasn't got the legs he once had. He'll be sitting down on his punches a lot more, and he's still got, yes, he may not be as quick as he used to be, still got speed. And speed can do a lot of damage, especially somebody as raw and novice as Ben. Amir Khan's speed could do some damage. But you'd have to say that I just don't know where Amir Khan's at. He could be completely shot to bits when he gets in the ring with Conor Benn. We just don't know. We don't know where Amir Khan is at in his career. So I think that's the thing about that fight. I don't think Amir Khan's going to want to fight Conor Benn. If I'm honest with you, I don't see it happening. Richard Brown says, I think Loma will want to make a big statement on his return. I believe so. I believe he's going to want to shut all the critics up, all the doubters. And then I believe that he's going to want to prove, he's going to want to show that he wants the rematch with Lopez. He's going to call Lopez out, and I think Lopez should honor that rematch, because the first fight was very close, and I think Lomachenko deserves a rematch. The first fight was very close, man. The first fight warrants a rematch. It was a great fight as well. So hopefully he gives him a rematch. I want to go back to Last Bell Boxing. Chat says Khan doesn't need Ben. I mean, I think Khan doesn't need Ben. Yes, he doesn't need Ben. And I don't think he's going to want Ben, if I'm honest with you. I think it's too risky for him. And Conor Benn probably said it the truth, that he wouldn't want to go out against someone like me who's young and up and coming. I think when Conor Benn, I saw the interview with Conor Benn. When Conor Benn mentioned Barrera, I think the Barrera talk was nonsense because, like I said, because of the things that I mentioned, that Amir Khan never called out Barrera. That fight got made because Barrera still had ambitions of winning world titles. Amir Khan didn't call him out. That fight got made naturally because Barrera felt he could beat Khan and go and get a world title shot. So it was nothing to do. This is a completely different situation to the Barrera one. Okay, so Lil G says, supposedly after Nakatani, there will be a Lopez rematch. I don't know how true that is. I hope so. I don't see it, but I hope so. I hope we can get a rematch. I don't think so because I don't think Lopez seems to want it, but I hope so. So Burning Desire says Williams v Eubank. Who wins it if it happens in the summer? I would say Eubank. I think Eubank's too fast. I think Eubank's work rate would be too much for him. I think Liam Williams' style would play into Eubank's hand. I think Eubank would do a lot more damage on Williams than Andre did. I think Eubank's style, I think Eubank's toughness, I think Eubank's fitness, stamina would get him the win in that fight. I think Eubank's just a better. I think stylistically, I think his style would. I think Liam Williams' style would be a perfect style for Eubank to look good. Eubank's fast hands. His combination punches, uppercuts. I just think Liam Williams is going to be walking into those punches all night. I actually think Eubank could force a stoppage in that fight. He could beat Williams up. And I like Liam Williams. I think he's a good fighter, but I think the Eubank fight stylistically isn't a good fight for him. I don't think it's a good fight for him at all. I think Chris Eubank, I think styles make fights, and I think stylistically that fight, I think Andrade, the reason why I think he would have, I think Liam Williams had a chance to beat Andrade. I know he didn't, but I think he had a chance. You know why? Because Andrade, for me, is a slickster whose stamina, I believe, is questionable. I believe if you put pressure on Andrade, he will tire. I don't think that's the same with Eubank. Eubank's not going to tire. Eubank's as fit as they come. He's tough. He's durable, and we know Eubank's his hand speed is obviously his strength, and his fitness and his chin and his determination and will. That's what makes Eubank the fighter he is. He has limitations, of course, and he has big limitations, but he also has strengths, and a lot of his strengths are down to the fact that he's a great athlete. He's very fit. His determination, that will, and the granite chin that he's got, which he inherited from his dad. So yeah, I think styles make fights. And I think stylistically, I think Eubank's all wrong for Liam Williams. But if you guys disagree, let me know. Richard says, are you going live for Saturday's fights? Yes, I will be. Loma beats Lopez in a rematch. I agree, Richard. I believe Loma would beat Lopez in a rematch for 100%. So Burning Desire says, I got a feeling all that hype T.O. has created, he may be a hype job. I got a feeling. Well, you can't really call him a hype job now, Burning Desire, because he beat Lomachenko. No matter what we think, he beat Lomachenko. He beat Lomachenko, man. And he did his thing. You can't call Teofimo a hype job anymore. He beat at the time the best pound for pound fighter in the world. When Lopez beat Lomachenko, everybody was saying Lomachenko is the best pound for pound fighter in the world. So you can't call him a hype job anymore. I do think, you know what it feels like? I feel like Lopez won the lottery. and he doesn't want to go back there again because he feels if I go back there again, everything can be taken away from me. So he doesn't want to give Lomachenko the opportunity to beat him. And I don't think we're going to get that rematch because I think Lopez is going to go on to do his own thing now. Personally, that's just the way I see it. So Nooney says that Tio next fight after Kambosos will show if he avoiding Loma. Personally, I would rather him take Haney or move up to 140. I don't know. I think he might move up to 140. Personally, I think he might move up to 140. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know what you think he should do. I think he might move up to 140. But let's see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Lil G Lopez blames it on Loma disrespect because of the no rematch clause for not giving him the rematch. Yeah, but that's just an excuse. Obviously, if there was a rematch clause, they could have enforced it, but there isn't no rematch clause, and Tio loans that. So Tio's using that to his advantage. Ben should not be calling out Khan, yeah. But it's all about money. It's all about getting the biggest payday. So do you think Khan will ask for the Brook fight, or is he creating hype for the limelight? What's happening? I don't know what's happening, to be honest. I think he'll want the Brook fight. I think he does want the Brook fight now. I don't know what's going on with Brook. Brook's just disappeared. What's going on with Kell Brook? I don't know what's going on. Okay, so has Parker linked up with Andy Lee as his trainer? Yes, he has. He has. His new trainer is Andy Lee. So I think that's a good move. Hopefully, Andy Lee can bring out the viciousness in Parker, the killer instinct. Parker lacks that for me. So Andrew Mukfadzine, I hope you're well. From Facebook is asking Eubank, saying Eubank has unbelievable hand speed. Yeah, he does. His hand speed is off the charts. That's one of his big strengths. I know his footwork isn't the greatest, but his hand speed is really, really fast, and he's very spiteful when he lets those hands go. Although I don't think he's the most powerful puncher out there, but he's definitely got great hand speed. I definitely think his hand speed is something else. So did Lee Williams just beat Shaq and Peters? Did Lee Williams just beat Shaq and Peters? Might be too much of step fighting Bivol. No, that's Craig Richards that's fighting what's his name? Bivol. Craig Richards is fighting Bivol. And that's a tough fight. That's a tough fight for Craig Richards. Wish him all the best. It's a tough one. Very tough one. So John Love says Austin Trout has called out Amir Khan again. Thoughts? Also, Eddie said that Khan will be back in the ring. It's a good fight, man. It's a good fight. Khan v Trout. I think they're both at the same stage in their careers. Again, it's a very risky fight. It's a very, very risky fight, man, for Amir Khan. And I don't know whether it's the name that he wants. I think he wants a Kell Brook fight, if I'm honest with you. I think it's a Kell Brook fight he wants. Prince Patel was looking a lot maturer in the IFL interview. Do you think he deserves a UK backing from a promoter? Yeah, I think Prince Patel has a great future, man. He has a good future. Listen, Prince Patel, he gets the ratings, as he says. He gets those ratings. He gets those ratings, man. I like Prince Patel, man. He's although a lot of people don't like him, I think he's quite exciting to watch, man. He's quite exciting, and he could be a star. I don't know how good he is as a fighter. If he can fight and he's good enough to become a world champion, you know, we may have somebody that could potentially be a star. You know, we may have somebody that could potentially be a star. Dan Blame, I hope you're well. Is Pacquiao more probably fighting Crawford or Spence? Listen, I hope it's either. I would hope it's Crawford because I'd love to see Crawford get a big fight. If it's Spence, I think then the fight between Spence and Spence and Crawford is going to be even harder to make, especially if Spence beats Pacquiao. It's going to be very, very difficult for Crawford because Spence is going to want a crazy split. Spence v Pacquiao is interesting. I got Spence, but I hope I'm wrong. Yeah. I think we all hope that, Pacquiao can pull it off. But I think Spence right now he's the top welterweight out there, isn't he? Spence is a beast right now, so it's gonna be hard to beat Spence. Okay, my bad, bro. Okay, Dan Blaine says, "What's your take on Casemiro v Rigo?" I made a video about this. I think it's a great fight. I favor Casemiro just because Casemiro's younger, he's fresher, he's more in his prime, and I think you have to favor Casemiro, but Rigo is a quality fighter. And like I said, in his prime, he was docked by everybody like Frampton, Quigg. Nobody wanted to go near that guy because I think they knew how skilled he was, and I think they knew that he would beat them. This guy was an unbelievable talent, and unfortunately, because of the fact that he wasn't a ticket seller, he wasn't a guy that got a lot of ratings or got a lot of views on television. His career kind of went stale, and he didn't get the opportunities, and he really got the opportunities towards the end of his career when he was past his prime. So it was a damn shame that Rigondeaux wasn't able to prove his greatness because a lot of guys didn't want to fight him and they viewed him as high risk, low reward. And unfortunately, Rigo wasn't able to show his ability, he wasn't able to show his talent, which is sad, really. So Andrew McFadden says, "Do you think if Saunders gets beat from Canelo, he should fight Eubank again? Now, Eubank has more experience under his belt. I would like to see that fight." You know what? I like to see that fight myself. If Saunders does get beat by Canelo, which a lot of people think he will, then I think the fight that makes a lot of sense for Saunders is Eubank. It's a huge fight. They don't like each other. It would sell a stadium here in the UK. It would get Saunders relevant again after losing to Canelo. And I think it would be. I think it's a big fight. I think it's a fight that I would like to see. A fight that I would be interested in. So yeah, I agree, Andrew. I want to see that fight. I want to see that fight between Saunders and Eubank. Hopefully it doesn't end up being like a Groves de Gale where they don't fight each other. I think they both need each other. I think it's a big fight. I think it's a big payday for both. And I think it makes sense. Why not? And obviously Eubank has lost to Saunders, so I'm pretty sure he wants to avenge that loss. And Saunders would get a huge payday and an opportunity, a big fight after if he was to lose to Canelo. But let's see how he gets on with Canelo first. So John Love says, who won a Commonwealth title? What do you mean? Do you think Khan should sign Patel? Prince Patel? I listen, I think Khan Town Singh, possibly. I think Amir Khan should sign Prince Patel. Maybe guide him as well, because Prince Patel needs some guidance right now. He needs some guidance. He needs somebody that can, I feel like Prince Patel has got all the ingredients from the personality point of view because he's drawn people in. Prince Patel has drawn people in, right? He's drawn people in, but he needs to prove his worth as a boxer. He needs to prove how good he is as a fighter because he fought on Amir Khan's undercard in Saudi Arabia and he got beat, right? Now, the guy that he got beat by was a good fighter, so there's no shame. But I want to see whether he's talking about world title fights. He's talking about fighting Chocolatito. He's talking about fighting Sonny Edwards if he wins. He's talking about fighting all these guys. He's talking about fighting that guy, that prospect that Warren's got, Dennis McCann. We need to see him in fights like that so he can prove his worth. If he can fight, if Prince Patel can fight, then he could potentially be a star. I don't think we can deny that because he definitely sells tickets. He's definitely a draw. He's definitely a guy that people are interested in. So if Prince Patel, right, can fight, he's a good fighter, a good top level fighter, then we may see, Prince Patel become a star like he goes on about. Guys, everyone in the live stream, smash that like button. I'd appreciate if you smash that like button. Smash that like button, guys. Everyone in the live stream, if you could smash that like button. So Nooney says, Tyson says BJS will give Canelo a schooling. Surely Tyson is being biased towards his body, right? Yeah. There's no way Billy Joe's going to school Canelo, man. Canelo's too good a boxer to be schooled by somebody. I just don't think anyone could school him. I think Billy Joe will give it a good shot, but to school Canelo, man, that's tough, man. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough, man, to school Canelo Alvarez. It's tough. Do you think Errol really taking Manny, great fighter, of course, over a belt holder, in your opinion? Do you think Errol really taking Manny, great fighter, of course, over a belt holder, in your opinion? I personally think that Errol should fight Manny because obviously it's a bigger fight. It's a fight which he'll gain more credibility in than the Ugas fight. And I think Manny Pacquiao still got something less. And I think Manny Pacquiao could be dangerous still. So, yeah, I think he should. Have you heard about Eddie leaving Sky? Do you think it's great for us? I bet Froch is first to get a job. Do I think it's great? Yeah, I think it's great, especially if the zone don't up the price that much. I wouldn't mind paying £5, for the zone. So yeah, that would be pay per view. That would be pay per view. The end of pay per view. However, I wouldn't get so happy just yet because if we're honest, right? AJ and Dillian White are still with Sky Sports. So unless they're going to sign huge deals with DAZN, which may be the case, I don't think their package is going to be included in all of Eddie's fighters just moving to DAZN. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Dillian White and AJ. Do they stay with Sky? Or Sky going to try to lure him in and give him a huge deal? God knows. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But it does look like Eddie Hearn's moving over to DAZN, which is obviously probably a great thing for the fans. However, Sky has a huge marketing machine behind them. Sky is massive. And is DAZN going to be able to have that same impact? Because remember, Sky Sports have everything. Sky News, the way they promote the fights is unbelievable. Is DAZN going to be able to do as good a job as Sky did? Especially the fact that there's a lot of casuals that have Sky that would be interested in fights. Is DAZN going to have that kind of casual base or that marketing machine where they're going to be able to get out there the way Sky were? Let's see, man. Let's see. It's not going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy anyway. I think it's going to be a lot tougher for Sky. But, time will tell. Time will tell. Do you think Ryan Garcia is just making excuses for his cancelled fight? Do I think Ryan Garcia is just making excuses? I don't think. Why would Ryan Garcia make excuses? I generally think that he's, got some issue, got some problem, and I think we should give him his time. I think we should give him his privacy, let him do his thing, and then hopefully, Ryan Garcia can get back to where he was. Man, I feel sorry for the guy. The guy's a quality fighter, and hopefully he can get back to the top. Hopefully he can get back to his best. Hopefully he can, his health is the most important thing. Money and all of that can take a back seat. Hopefully Ryan Garcia can get back to his best. Do you think Williams might get snatched by Eddie Hearn? Depends. Depends if his contract. I don't think so. I think he'll be happy with Frank Warren, and I think Eddie Hearn's got too many fighters. I think he's got too many fighters to get out, and I think Liam Williams is a good fighter, but I don't think he's a marquee name. And I think Eddie Hearn really looks for the big marquee names, which I'm not sure. Liam Williams is. So David Adelaide is trying to run before he can walk, calling out the likes of Gorman. Adelaide is young and only a few fights. He should take his time and learn his craft and not rush these fights. Well, he lost, really. Let's be honest, Richard. He lost on the weekend, and he got a gift decision. If we're being honest, he lost. He got a gift decision. So, yeah, I think a Gorman would be a step too far because Gorman would beat Kamel. And let's be honest, David lost that fight. So, yeah, I think he needs to fight that guy again, look to beat that guy. And if he can come through that, then maybe we can set up another fight, maybe not at Gorman's level, a bit lesser than that, a bit lower level, and then see how he gets on. Because I think, yeah, you're right. He's probably trying to run before he can walk at the minute. And I don't think it's a smart thing to do if I was him. Okay, so John Love Says Prince Patel just won a Commonwealth belt in Ghana. Okay, I wasn't aware of this. I haven't really been following Prince Patel's career. I know he fought. I know he fought on after the Amir Khan undercard. I didn't really see him. I didn't really hear about his. I didn't really hear about him, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, let's see. Let's see how he gets on. Let's see how Prince Patel gets on. I want to see him fight in the UK. Let's see if he can build a name for himself here in the UK. Do you think Canelo will KO GGG in a rematch? I don't know. I think it would be. I think it would be a tough fight. But I do think GGG is on the other side of the road. I think he's on the other side of his career now, and I do think Canelo would be too much for him at this point. Do I think he would KO him? No. I think GGG is just too tough. Prince doesn't have a manager nor a trainer. Just about 70K views on his recent interview with IFL. Big numbers. Yeah, he said that's what I mean. He's definitely a big star. He's definitely a big name here in a biggish like name in the sense that people like to watch him. Whether it's to watch him lose, he's got that. He gets people sucked in. He gets people sucked in. So it's. I think he needs to get a promoter. I think he needs to get. I think he needs to get a manager, and they need to work on marketing him. So maybe he needs to get hold of Eddie Hearn, and hopefully Eddie Hearn can and build his name. Why can't IBF champ Jerwin and Jerwin can make a good fight deals with the Chocolatito? Because it's all promotional crap. You know what I mean? It's all that nonsense. It's ruining boxing. Champions not being able to fight one another because they're on different platforms. Sometimes it's the fact that someone's a high risk, low reward. Fighters don't see it. They're like, what's in it for them? So they avoid fights. So yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing when fighters don't fight one another. No way Canelo gets schooled by anybody. He's the best fighter in the world right now. I love Billy Joe, but got to feel Canelo is a step too far. Yeah, I agree. Andrew. No way he gets schooled. No way. I'd be shocked if that happens. John Love, yeah, Prince is entertaining. I don't watch his fights, just interviews. He hasn't even got a trainer. Yeah, he needs to get a trainer. Nooney says, with all the exhibitions going on, could do a Barrero v Prince Hamed rematch. Well, what weight is that going to be at? Because Prince Hamed is super heavyweight right now. Prince Hamed is a super heavyweight right now. So I don't think that rematch is possible unless Barrero goes up to heavyweight, because Prince Hamed is a super heavyweight. Have you seen any of Rashidi Ellis? I still asked, as Richard, I still haven't looked into it. I need to look into Rashidi Ellis. You've been telling me about Rashidi Ellis. I haven't looked into it. Let me have a quick look now. A sec. Rashidi Ellis. Rashidi Ellis, here he is. He's had 23 fights, 14 KOs. How come there's not much talk? What weight is he fighting at? He's fighting at welterweight, but no one's talking about Rashidi Ellis. Why? Why is no one talking about this kid? Nobody's talking about him at all, Richard. For some reason, I don't know what's going on. Why no one's talking about Rashidi Ellis? Everyone talks about Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis, Conor Benn, but they're not talking about Rashidi Ellis. Holy Inferno. Ugas with a belt is still only a top 5 welterweight. Fighting Pacquiao would be for the lineal title because Pacquiao is the number 3 in the weight class. Thurman is rate higher than Ugas. Yeah, I agree. But Spence right now probably feels that. Listen, Spence probably feels he doesn't need a Pacquiao. He wants to fight for the belts. He wants to become undisputed. Now, I don't know whether it's just all talk. I don't know whether it's maybe to some negotiation tactic there by Spence. I don't know. Do you think Canelo can become the greatest Mexican boxer ever when he retires? Yeah, I think he's close to it now. I think he's close to it now. But I think when he retires, yes, I believe he will. Dan Blame says, Ugas beat Crawford in amateur. Do you think Ugas can beat Crawford now? Do I think Ugas can beat Crawford now? I think Ugas can't beat Crawford. I don't. I think Crawford beats him. I think Crawford's come on leaps and bounds since then. Yeah, I think Crawford would beat him. I think that title goes to Julio Cesar Chavez. Yes, it does at the minute. It does at the minute. Whether it stays with him, time we'll see. Do you rate Felix Cash? Can he go far? I do rate Felix Cash. I think Felix Cash is a good fighter. And the way he dispatched of Denzel Bentley, what a performance. You got to say, Felix Cash is a very, very hot prospect. Very, very. I think he's gone past the hot prospect stage. You know, he's talking about Liam Williams now and Eubank. I think Eubank stepped too far. What I would say, though, I will say this. I think Frank Warren wants to get his own back on Eddie Hearn, and he wants to make Felix Cash Liam Williams, probably because he thinks Liam Williams would beat Felix Cash, and I don't think he likes the fact that Felix Cash has got one over his fighter. I think Eddie Hearn's fighters have been beating Frank Warren's fighters of late, so I think Frank wants to get one back. He wants to get Liam Williams in there with Felix Cash and beat him now. That would be a good fight. Felix Cash v Liam Williams would be a good fight. Whether Liam Williams, after a good performance against Andrade, would be willing to fight Felix Cash straight away, it's kind of like high risk, low reward kind of for Liam Williams. But that'd be a good fight and a fight that I'd like to see. Hello. Canelo only lineal title division. He needs to fight Plant or David for lineal title. Yeah, he's going to fight Plant next after Billy. If he wins, I think he beats Plant and David Benavidez personally. But yeah, I would be interested in those fights for sure. Definitely be interested in those fights. Does Pacquiao only have one fight remaining on his deal with PBC? I don't know whether Pacquiao has any fights. I don't know the situation with his contract. I don't know his situation contractually. I don't know what position he's at. Hopefully he's a free agent so he can do what he wants. But I don't know. I don't know what his position is contractually with PBC. Man said Prince Hamed is a super heavyweight. Violation. He is. Let's be real. It's not violation. He is. He's a super heavyweight right now. Hamed he's a super heavyweight, man. And what weight is that fight going to be at? Don't get me wrong. Barrera don't look thin either, but Barrera's still in better shape than Naz. So yeah, it's going to be hard for me to get to see Naz doing any doing any exhibitions, man. He'd have to cut a lot of weight, really, and I don't think he really cares. I think he's made a lot of money, that guy. So I don't, he just wants to enjoy life. Who do you think is the next Filipino boxing superstar? Casemiro. I know Casemiro's not young, but I think Casemiro definitely has that spite. He definitely is a good fighter. I know he's got a couple of losses, but I think he could be big. I think he could definitely be big. So I think he's a fighter that I think I like, and he's a fighter that I think could do things, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think Casemiro right now. So yeah, Pacquiao has one more left on a 3-fight deal contract. Okay, so let's see who that one fight is against. So Trout v. Kelbrook, who wins if it happened at 150? I'd have to go Trout. If I'm honest with you. I think Trout's still fresher than Kelbrook, and I think Trout's still very dangerous. So I would go Trout. I think I would go Trout. Ellis has 20 odd fights, no losses, and 14 kills. He's worth watching out for, doing the business. Yeah, he is, but he's not got the. I don't think he's got the marketing machine behind him, where he's getting that promotion, because nobody really knows about Rashidi Ellis. If I'm honest with you, he's doing his thing quietly. You know, you'd think a guy with 23 pro fights would know more about him, but unfortunately, we don't. Mexico has rich rivalries against Puerto Ricans, Filipinos, and BOK Americans. I can see a new rivalry against brewing against the UK. Do you see it the same way? Mexico has rich rivalries. Yeah, but is the rivalries between the Mexicans and the UK competitive, though? That's the thing. I don't think so. I think the Mexicans usually get the better of the British at the minute. So the rivalries have got to be competitive to be rivalries. At the minute, they seem kind of one-sided. What's your take on Canelo Beterbiev? I think it's a great fight. It's the fight that I want to see. I think Beterbiev is a very, very dangerous fight for Canelo, but I think Canelo has the tools and the ability to beat Beterbiev. It's a great fight. It's a great matchup and a fight that I'd like to see. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I definitely would like to see Beterbiev v Canelo without question. I think it's a great fight. I do. I think it would be a fight that I'd be very interested in, if I'm totally honest with you. But yeah, what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Who is your top 5 Mexican boxer of all time? And salute from Texas. Yes, salute to you. Just Swiss. Salute to you. Who's my top 5? So Julio Cesar Chavez, Canelo Alvarez. I'm not. It's not in any order. I'll name my top 5: Barrera, Marquez, Morales. I think these are the 5 that I think have had a lot of effect on me. That I look back at and think, wow, what legendary. I know I probably missed out someone great and some great fighters, but these are the 5 that hit me and that I like, my personal favorites. So Richard said, Rashidi Ellis promoters not doing their job properly. Ellis is fast and tricky. No one wants to fight him. Maybe he's too good for his own good. If you have time, watch Ellis v Gomez for the first fight. If I'm honest with you, Rashidi Ellis, the fact that he's 23-0 and people haven't heard of him, right, definitely shows that his promoters aren't doing a good job. They need to do a better job. They need to get his name out there. They need to make him a star, because we need to know more about these up-and-coming prospects, these up-and-coming kids. Otherwise, bad promotion ruins careers, really. When we think about it, bad promotion can ruin a career. We need young guys like Rashidi Ellis to get the credit, to get the recognition, in order for them to get, to become stars. I want to see Rashidi Ellis become a star. So Burning Desire says, do you think Prince Nassim Hamed will do an exhibition fight, even if it's against Mayweather? No, I don't think so. So Andrew says, yeah, I hear you, bro. Holly Inferno says, do you agree Anthony Joshua is a Hall of Famer? Do you think Wilder and Fury are Hall of Famers? No, I don't. I don't think Anthony Joshua is a Hall of Famer. No. Let his career end first. I don't like calling people Hall of Famers while their career is still going on, because if he was to lose a couple of fights, then all of that changes, right? He's still in the peak of his career. A Hall of Famer, for me, is somebody that's got a great resume, that's beaten the top fighters of his era. But yeah, nowadays, what depends on what you call a Hall of Famer, really. What's your level of a Hall of Famer? I do think Joshua's a great fighter. I just think he's still got to do a bit more. And I think same with Fury and Wilder, personally. What's your take on Fury Joshua? My take is that I believe Fury wins. I think Fury's too slick. I think he's too versatile. I think he's got more tools in the toolbox than Joshua. But I do think Joshua is dangerous for Fury. I think Joshua punches very hard. I think he's a good boxer as well. I think it's a dangerous fight, but I do fancy Fury to win that fight. But by no means I don't think that by no means I don't think that Joshua can't win. I think Joshua can win that fight as well without question. I think Joshua has the ability and the tools to beat Tyson Fury. But it's a fight that I want to see. So let's get that fight made. Teofimo v Patman on welterweight. Teofimo v Patman. Who you got? Patman. Even now, Pacquiao beats him. Pacquiao would beat Teofimo. Teofimo won't be able to beat Pacquiao. Not at 147. So Rich Andrew says, and Anakas is a possible future Filipino. Don't know a great deal about him, but what I've seen, there is massive potential. Yeah, there is. He's a good fighter, good up and coming talent, without question. Like we have a benchmark where we say Carl Froch, AJ Lewis were our best fighters. How do you rank Khan? It seemed like Khan was going to be a top 15 in history. In the end, I believe Khan's in the top 15. If I'm honest with you, when you say he didn't achieve it in the end, what do you mean by that? He's beaten more former world champions than Carl Froch. He's beaten more former world champions than Lewis. He's beaten more former world champions than AJ. He's beaten more former world champions than all of those guys. So what? Why does Khan have a higher barrier than all those guys? He's beaten more former world champions than those guys. Who did Froch? What was Froch's best win in his career? Who did he beat better than Maidana? Name me a fighter he beat better than Maidana. What, Kessler? Who beat him when they were in his prime? Then he beat him when he was washed up. Tell me a better win than the Maidana win. I can't think of any fight that Froch had that was better than Maidana. He fought that guy in America that was losing to, and then he beat him in the last round. That guy was past his best, and Froch admitted that on a podcast. He said that he was past his best when I fought him. What was his name? The guy in the American, Thompson. I forgot his name, man. The guy that was WBC chat. Was he the WBC or no? Froch was defending his belt. But yeah, I don't agree with that when you say that Khan was going to be a top 15 in history, but he didn't achieve it in the end. I don't agree with that at all, to be honest. I think most people would have Khan in the top 15. I think it's the top 10 that probably some people might leave him out. Some people will have him in, some people will leave him out. But yeah, when I look at his resume and the amount of former world champions he beat, I have to say, for me personally, I think his resume is one of the best out there. I do. Like, if you look at his resume, like I said, I don't think AJ's beaten anyone as good as Maidana. He beat an old Klitschko, but look at Maidana. Look how good Maidana was. Maidana didn't get the credit, right? He wasn't as big name, and he was always a B-side in fights. But Maidana was an animal of a fighter. He was an animal. One of my favorite fighters, Maidana. He didn't get the credit. He was a beast. Look what Maidana did to Adrian Broner. And look how many fighters Adrian Broner fought after that. Mikey Garcia, Pacquiao. They weren't able to do what Maidana did to him. Maidana wrecked him. Maidana ruined his career. So Maidana literally wrecked Broner's career. So Maidana was an animal, man. That was a great win. But yeah, I don't really think that when you look at the history, I do think Khan deserves a lot more credit than he gets, I'm just being honest with you. I think to say he's not top 15, who can you... like I said, there isn't any active fighter today that has got a better resume than him. I don't think there is. I think AJ's getting there. I think AJ's got a stacked resume. But yeah, who else? Froch had a good resume. But like I said, I've said this before. When you talk about Lewis, right? you're talking about probably the greatest, Lewis and Calzaghe. You're talking about two of the greatest British fighters of all time. I don't really rank Khan in that as in that kind of league. I don't rank Hatton in that league of Lewis and Calzaghe. I don't rank Joshua in that league. I think Fury has the ability, once he finishes his career, to be in that league. And what I mean by that league, here's what I'm going to say. If you look at guys like David Haye, Amir Khan, Ricky Hatton, all these guys against the top pound for pound fighters, they came up short. They lost, right? They lost. I feel like Calzaghe, Lewis, they beat the top pounder. I know people say Calzaghe fought a lot of guys past his best, but nevertheless, he was undefeated. I just think that they had a bit, they were better, you know what I mean? So that's why I rank them higher than as I rank Lewis number 1, Calzaghe number 2, and then after that you can pick whatever you want to pick. I do think Fury for me, I think Fury for me could be number 2, number 1. Let's see how Fury's career goes. I think Fury's special. I rate Fury. I do. I rate him very highly. And I think Fury will be another one that enters that category of Lewis and what's his name? Calzaghe. Let me tell you, most British fighters, right? You know, the good ones that we have, they fail against the top pound for pound fighters, right? Most of them lose at the top, at the highest level against the top Americans. They end up losing, right? Lewis and Calzaghe were the only two. And by the way, both those guys didn't really fight, apart from Lewis fighting Holyfield, which was very good win. When you look at, they didn't really fight guys in their prime. They didn't really beat a guy in their prime that was a top American fighter, pound for pounder. And Richard, I know that you've pointed out, Richard pointed out, we'll go down to his question. If you want a boxer, who you want to be your trainer and promoter? If you were a boxer, who would you want you to be your trainer? I'd say Freddie Roach and promoter Eddie Hearn. Is Tyson Fury our greatest all-time British if he wins against Joshua? I wouldn't say the greatest. I would say he's up there. For me, Tyson Fury's special, man. I rate Tyson Fury. I think if he beats Joshua, I think he's number 3, but then he has to stack up his resume. And then I think Tyson Fury has the potential to be ranked as the number 1 British fighter, best British fighter of all time. Who would you like for Navarrete next? Diaz deserves to be in another big fight. Yeah. Someone mentioned Kid Galahad for Navarrete. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind watching Navarrete v Kid Galahad. Galahad, Navarrete looks a bit wild to me. So but he may outwork what's that guy's name, man? Galahad. He may outwork him. I'd like to see that. Is lineal champion equal to undisputed? Is resume or belt more important? Lineal champion is the man that beat the man. Undisputed is the guy that cleans up the division. He's the undisputed champion. He's got all the belts. That's undisputed. So Burning Desire says Lucas Matisse v Marcus Maidana in the prime. Who do you think wins that fight? Burning Desire, who do you think wins that fight? Who do you think wins out of Maidana and Matisse? That would be a hard fight. I'd go Maidana. I think Maidana had a bigger heart than Matisse, but Matisse was a big puncher. But I think Maidana had a great chin. See, a Matisse v Khan fight, that would be dangerous. Khan against any puncher would be a dangerous fight for him. And for me, I would view it as 50-50 because Khan could get knocked out. Maidana v Matisse. Maidana's very powerful, very good chin, very tough, punches very hard. Yeah, that's a horrible fight, man. That's not a fight where you want to... that's a horrible fight, man. That's a horrible fight, but I'd favor Maidana. Maidana's one of my favorite fighters, man. Like I said, Maidana, when you research his career, you have to understand what happened to him. He was a guy that was always seen as the B side and always given like short training. Maidana was a very good fighter. I don't know why he left after Mayweather, man. I was so gutted that I never saw Maidana again after 2 Mayweather fights. And he gave Mayweather hell. Let's be honest. He lit Mayweather up in that first fight. He lit Mayweather up. Let's be honest. Mayweather didn't like that at all. He did not like that. But fair play to Mayweather. Gave him a rematch, which he deserved. Casemiro v Danair. Who you got? Casemiro. I think Casemiro's young, fresh. But Danair's still showing he's got a fight left. Still showing he got a fight left. Thoughts on Loma fighting the Nakatani fight? I think it's a good fight. I mentioned it earlier that I think it could be a dangerous fight. Nakatani's no slouch. Nakatani's very, very good fighter. So yeah, hopefully Loma. I think Loma will win, and then hopefully we can get Loma in a big fight with somebody. This year there is a possibility of undisputed Tyson v AJ Ramirez, Taylor, Canelo Plant, Tio Haney, and Jaro Castano. And you mean Jamel and Castano? What a year! Yeah. It's a year of the undisputed, guys. Year of the undisputed. Fantasy fight, Prime Pacquiao v Prime Leonard. That's a tough one, man. I think Leonard was too big. I think Leonard might beat Pacquiao, if I'm honest. I think Leonard might have been too big. Leonard was a very naturally bigger man. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so Burning Desire says Froch fought like 10 back-to-back top fighters, whereas Khan stopped fighting them 2 fighters years. Also, that division, no talent like Crawford and Spence. But in the super middleweight division, who was the talent in that division, really? There wasn't much there, really, when you think about it. Like, he fought... Yeah, he fought some decent fighters, don't get me wrong. But again, the fact is, I think Khan, in the period that he was active, I think he beat a lot of top fighters. He beat a lot of big names, you know. And I think Khan's best win, Froch's best win. Froch's best win, I think Richard pointed out Bute. That was a good win at the time. But Bute, he didn't really impress after the Froch. Maybe Froch just ruined him. I don't know. But is Bute better than Maidana? I don't personally think so. I don't think Bute ever impressed me. I never really looked at Bute and was impressed by him. But what's his best win? Beat some good names, Froch did. You know what I mean? He beat some good names. He had a good career, Froch. But everyone has their own opinion, man. Everyone sees it differently. Some people rate Khan very highly. Some people don't rate Khan. Some people say he's not even top 50. So, everybody rates Amir differently. Amir Khan's funny because some people rate him very highly. Some people think he's good, but not that good. Some people say, no, the guy was a phenomenon. I've seen Amir Khan's one of those guys where, like, there's so many differing opinions about him that everyone has their own opinion, Froch was a highly rated at the time. That was a good win for Froch. Yeah, I agree. It was a good win, Richard. That was definitely a good win. But Richard, I want to ask you a question. How good was Bute? Would you say Bute was a better fighter than Maidana? Do you reckon? I know at the time, yes, he was undefeated and what. But when you look back at it, right? Do you think Bute is a better... If you were to rank Bute and Maidana, just say, as fighters, if you were to say that's their best win, who do you think's a better fighter? I'd love to know your opinion, Richard. Because I know you're gonna give a good response. Attractive Champless and Khan is def top 5 UK fighter of all time, in my opinion. It's tough. Like I said, I just told you that many people have differing opinions about Amir Khan. it is what it is. I don't know. I don't know. I rank him highly. I rank him highly. I think his resume is unbelievable. I think he's a bit underrated, and I think the chin thing is, I think, a bit over exaggerated, and I think he's probably doesn't get the credit he deserves. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. Some people say top 5, some people say top 10, some people say top 15, some people say top 20, some people say not even in the top 50. I've seen people say he's not even in top 50. So everyone rates Amir Khan differently for some reason. He's just got, there's differing opinions about him. Prime Maidana v Prime Pacquiao. Who you got? Oh, Pacquiao, man. Pacquiao. No one's beating Pacquiao, man. Come on. Pacquiao's a monster. Even though I love Maidana, but Pacquiao, man, Pacquiao's too good. It's too good. Ruiz v Wilder, who wins, and who's your favorite soccer team? Ruiz v Wilder. Wilder knocks him out with the right hand. I just think Wilder's too strong. I rate Wilder. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those guys that that is writing Wilder off after his loss. Anyone can lose. Wilder's a big puncher. He hits hard. He hits like a tank. And I think he can do some serious damage still. Let's see if Wilder can get it back together, though. Leonard was a beast, Joe. He was a beast. He was a beast. He was a beast. Actually, yeah, Khan was on about 15. I think Froch fought more top fighters, though. AJ and Fury have fought more quality fighters, but less in quantity. Yes. Yes. You mean like the names? Yeah, like Klitschko and who else has AJ fought? AJ fought Povetkin. Yeah, he's fought some good names, man. He's fought some good names. AJ's building up. Remember, Khan's done now as well. So, they're only gonna, their resumes are only gonna get better. Khan's kind of finished now. Yeah, man. It's all a matter of opinion, eh? Like Spencer Fearon, for example, did a list and he put Khan in his top 10. He put Khan in his top 10 and he said, Ashley Theophane, he put Khan in his top 10. You see, everybody has their own opinion. Everyone has their own opinion about what they rate. See, I tell you, some people don't even think Khan's a top 50. So it's a matter of opinion, man, who thinks what. How do we know who ranks who? How do we judge this? How do we judge who's top 10, who's top 5? How do we judge it? It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Touch says, you mean Jermaine Taylor? That's it, Jermaine Taylor. The poor guy is going through a lot today. Hope he gets the support he needs. Yeah, that's it, Touch. Jermaine Taylor. That guy was past his best. Jermaine Taylor. Yeah, I heard that he's not doing too well. Hopefully Jermaine Taylor can get it back together. Jermaine Taylor at one point, he was the undisputed I think he was the undisputed middleweight or super middleweight champion. He was an unbelievable fighter, and he was beating the brakes off Froch in that fight. He ran out of gas. Taylor had an issue with stamina. But Froch, here's the thing with Froch, right? Froch, you can't be you can't go into a Froch with poor stamina, poor punch resistance. Froch will get to you, man. Froch was very determined. He was very fit. He was an athlete. And Froch found a way to get to people, even though he wasn't the most skilled guy. Never rated Froch in terms of his boxing ability, even though obviously he was a good boxer. He did big things in the sport. He three-time world champion. It's no joke. But I think Froch did well, man. He had a good career. A good career. I didn't like his character that much, but I separate the character. From the boxer, and I think he was good. I think he was a good fighter. Sometimes he rubs people up the wrong way. Yeah, I do support Leicester. I'm from Leicester. I support Leicester City. Yeah, Touch. I do support Leicester. Okay. A good boxer will beat Navrate. Yeah, Navrate is wild, man. He's wild. Do you think Warrington is behind Galahad now in terms of opportunities? No, because Warrington's a bigger star than Galahad, so he's not. And didn't Warrington beat Galahad? So no. No. So I believe Warrington's still out there, man. He's still a big name, man. Still a big name. Navrate v Lomachenko. Who wins? Lomachenko. Come on, man. Loma would destroy that guy. Destroy him like that. He's too wild, man. I think Maidana wins Matisse. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, where is Dogbay gone? Wasn't he world champion? And then he lost. Where's he gone? Isaac Dog was it Isaac Dogbay? Was his name Isaac Richard? Isaac Dogbay? My favorite Maidana fight was Victor Ortiz. Oh, that was a war. That was when Ortiz was legit. That was when Ortiz was Ortiz. That was when Ortiz was Ortiz, right? Ortiz. Yeah, man. Ortiz, man. That Ortiz, man. I don't know what happened. Ortiz was supposed to be one of the best fighters, a guy that was gonna go on to become a pound for pound star, that was gonna go on to become a great, and he just didn't have the heart. I don't know what happened with Ortiz, man. Ortiz was really like highly rated, very highly rated. Everybody thought the guy was gonna go on to become a legend, but unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. Do you think Kell Brook is retired? No, I think Kell Brook's still gonna fight. Maidana already beat Matisse. Did he? Did Maidana fight Matisse? When did Maidana fight Matisse? Did he fight Matisse? How could I have missed that if he did? No, he didn't. No, he didn't fight Matisse. No, he didn't fight Matisse. He didn't. He didn't fight Matisse. Prime Roberto Duran v Prime Pacquiao. Hard one. That's a hard one. I'm gonna go Pacquiao by decision, but by Roberto Duran was a beast. Thoughts on the PBC Showtime schedule that was released? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, to be honest with you. Davis v Loma, who wins? That's a good fight. That's a 50-50 for me. That's a fight that I like to see. That's a fight that I would like to see. Great fight. Great fight. Hopefully that fight can happen. Hopefully that fight can happen. It's a great fight. Great fight. I think if fans will decide who fights who, boxing would be even greater. Yeah, I think that would be with most sports, right? Personally, I think Khan was good up until he came against the real hitters, and then I feel he struggled. He can box for sure with the best. For me, chins are a bit soft. Like you said, bro, it's a matter of people's opinions. Yeah, I do agree with you 100%, Andrew. It's a difficult one. I think people have different opinions about him. Some people love him, some people think he was great. Like Richard, for example, Richard on here, and there's another Richard that really rate Khan highly, even a lot more than I do. There's certain people, and then there's certain people that are right on the opposite end of the scale that don't rate him at all, which I think I kind of find funny, if I'm honest with you. Like, I don't think, how can you, even if you think his chin's really poor and his chin's crap, the fact that he achieved so much and became a world champion, having a poor chin, I think that in itself deserves a lot of credit, you know? But again, like I said, it's a matter of people's opinions. I don't really like to get involved and get into scuffles with people now anymore about social media, because one thing I noticed, everyone's entitled to an opinion, you know? Everyone's like, I could say AJ's crap, right? That's just my opinion, you know? There's no point of me getting in a heated argument with somebody. And I've got my Facebook group, and there's a lot of people that get angry and start swearing at each other and start getting all angry. And I'm like, it's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of opinion. Who cares, really? Who cares? You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And to be honest with you, I don't really get heated anymore about because it's someone's opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. If you think Froch, some people might have Froch top 3. Some people may have Khan in top 5. Some people may have, everyone. One thing I've noticed, everyone has their own opinion, and everyone's lists are different, and that's what's beauty. That's the beauty about it. That's the beauty about doing things like this, by having Facebook groups, is that we can discuss and discuss and have, what I'd call civilized arguments about boxing. Not arguments. Arguments is a wrong word. Debates about boxing. And that's what the beauty about these type of things. I don't like it when people start becoming aggressive and start swearing over boxing. It's just boxing. It's just boxing. There's no need of getting frustrated and angry about just because someone said something about your favorite fighter. Like, I'm somebody that I have an emotional attachment to Khan, but I don't care anymore like I used to, because I know that everyone's entitled to their opinion, and it is what it is. Like, some people will have an opinion about Mayweather. Like, listen, the way I look at it, Mayweather for me was one of the greatest fighters of all time. If people think he was a cherry picker, if he wasn't that good, then what's Khan? If people can say that about the greatest, in my opinion, one of the greatest ever, right? In Mayweather, right? And Mayweather's way better than Khan, right? Then why people are going to have opinions about Khan as well. So, like I said, I've seen people hate on Pacquiao. I've seen people hate on Mayweather. These are two of the greatest fighters of all time, right? In our era, Mayweather and Pacquiao are two of the greatest fighters of all time. They will be remembered as two of the greatest. For me, in my top 10 greatest fighters of all time, both of those two, right? How many people do you see trashing them? How many people do you see knocking them down? So, like I said, every fighter gets criticism. Every fighter, there's many fighters that are not rated. Some fighters are overrated. Some fighters are given more credit. It's a matter of opinion. It's a matter of opinion. So Froch beat Kessler, Johnson, Abraham, Taylor, Darrell, Bute, Groves. Just to name a few, Froch had a good career. Richard, he definitely had a good career. There's no doubt about it. That's why I said I didn't necessarily like his character. It's a bit annoying, a bit irritating. But Froch beat Kessler, Johnson, Abraham, Taylor, Darrell, Bute, and he beat someone. He beat others as well. Yusuf Mack. He beat Glenn Johnson. You put Johnson there. Abraham, you put Abraham. Yeah, I think Froch was good. I think here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. For me, Froch and like Khan, they were similar level of fighters. I feel like, and here's what I mean by that. People may disagree with me, and here's what explanation I'm going to give. I think both were good and both had their skills and talent in their own way. I think Froch wasn't obviously as naturally gifted as Khan, but Khan didn't have the chin and the toughness of Froch. He didn't have the durability of Froch. But against the best pound for pound fighters, I don't think they would win. I think Froch was too technically deficient to beat Andre Ward. And I think Amir, although he had great natural talent and boxing ability, I think his boxing brain, right, wasn't as good as some of the top fighters. I just think they would come up short against the top fighters. That's just and I put Hatton in that same category. I don't think Hatton would beat Pacquiao, Mayweather at any point. He wouldn't beat the top. You see, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they beat the top pound for pound fighters, basically, what I'm trying to say. Like, if you put someone like Andre Ward against Froch, I think he would lose every time. I don't think he could beat Ward, if I'm honest with you. I think Ward was too good. And I think if you put Khan in there with Mayweather, I think Mayweather beats him. I just think I don't think against the real top elite guys, I don't think they'd win personally. And I'd put, like I said, maybe I put Joshua in that category. And what I mean by elite, because I don't think, although Joshua's fought a lot of top guys and I give him respect, I think the two elite guys, and people may disagree with me about Wilder, I think the two top guys that Joshua has to beat to prove himself in this era for me is Wilder and Fury. If he beats that, then you could say, yeah, he's beat an elite guy. And he would definitely then be in the top 2 or 3 British fighters of all time. I don't think he's going to beat Fury, though. I might be wrong. But I just think that's why I say when I say what I say about Calzaghe and what's his name, Lewis, that I think they were pound for pound top fighters. I think they beat top pound for pound fighters. Unfortunately, most of the other British fighters came up short against the best. That's what I've noticed. Maybe you guys disagree. I don't think. I think they come up short against the best. I think the best American fighters beat them. And we saw that with Froch and Ward. Because let's be honest, guys, Ward was levels above everybody in that super middleweight. He beat everybody comfortably. Let's be honest. He beat everybody with a name comfortably. He beat Froch easy, beat Kessler easy, beat Abraham. He beat everyone. Ward beat everyone, right? And really, Ward, the only time Ward struggled is when he came up against another elite fighter in Kovalev. And let's be honest, guys, he lost that first Kovalev fight. But Ward only really struggled when he came up against another elite fighter. Right? So, yeah. That's the way I view it, really. So, do you support Leicester City? Yes. Rigo v. Inoue. That's a good fight. Inoue's too fresh right now, Dan. Inoue's too fresh. Rigo's old. I think Casemiro beats Rigo, and I think Inoue beats Casemiro. So I know styles make fights, but I think he's too fresh. I think he's too fresh for Rigo. Maidoni probably the better fighter than Bute, I'd say, and had a better career, I'd say, Imran. Yeah. I think Maidana was a what a fighter, man. I respect. Maidana was a great fighter. When Canelo retires, you think he was the greatest Latino boxer, better than Chavez Sr. and Duran? Ooh, you're asking really hard questions here, Jesus. You're asking very hard questions. Would he be better than Chavez? It's hard to say. Again, it's a matter of people's opinion. I would say probably better than Chavez. Duran's going to be tough for people to give him more credit than Duran, personally. Maidana waited too long to hook up with Robert Garcia. Yeah, he did. Maidana should have hooked up. Man. Warrington isn't done yet. Andrew says Warrington isn't done yet. He's a warrior, tough as boots. Man showed his resilience in his last fight against a young Mexican. Yeah. But Andrew, what do you think he should do? Do you think he should fight Lara again? I don't know. I would be advising him to swerve that. That's a dangerous fight. That guy was a beast. He was a monster. That guy was a monster. That guy was. Lara. Like, he was supposed to be a cherry pick. That guy was supposed to be a cherry pick. He turned out to be a beast. Never underestimate a Mexican fighter. Mexicans are very, very tough. Very, very tough people. Very, very tough fighters. You never trade with a Mexican. Maidana fought Matisse 3 times in the amateurs, and it was 2-1 to Maidana. I wasn't aware of this. But they didn't fight as pros, though. How would you feel about boxing if you found out 80-90% of boxers abused? I wouldn't like that at all. I wouldn't like that at all, if I'm honest with you. I wouldn't like that. You know, that's not good. Boxing's dangerous. People get hurt in boxing. PEDs need to be well away from this sport. You know, we've seen people die in boxing. So, yeah, I don't like that, to be honest with you. I'm against PEDs. Isaac Dogbay, twice to Navrate, then disappeared, and I think was fought Matisse. Yeah, as an amateur. Yeah, you're right. Lost twice to Navrate and then disappeared. Yeah, he won the world title, and then I think he just disappeared. That's a big achievement, winning a world title, and it just disappeared. Guys just disappear, man. He achieved his goal. I don't know how much money he made. I don't know whether he's financially secured, or maybe he's just lost interest. Devin Alexander v. Kell Brook, who wins right now? It's hard to say, man. What's Devin Alexander got left? What's Kell Brook got left? We saw Kell Brook against Crawford. Not a lot left. Devin Alexander, they're talking about him fighting, like him being a potential opponent for Conor Benn. Um, I don't know, man. Alexander's finished. Kell Brooks passed it. I don't know. Who do you think wins Burning Desire? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what each guy's got left, to be honest with you. So Andrew says Duran Pacquiao is a fight Shane will never see it. Duran was the toughest guy on the circuit, heart of a lion. He was. You know what? You know what the crazy thing is about Duran? Even though Duran clearly quit against Leonard, Duran still has so much respect because Duran was a beast. He was a monster. Many fighters, once they quit in a fight, fans lose respect. But Duran's one of the only fighters that quit in a fight, and fans still respect him because they know the kind of lion heart he had. He was an unbelievable fighter. I think, Duran more quit because he just got embarrassed by Leonard. But what a fighter Duran was. What a fighter, man. These guys, these are legends, man. These are legends of the game. These are legends of our game, legends that have been involved. And I just, sometimes I think to myself as a boxing fan, I wish I was around in that time when Hagler, Hearns, Leonard were all fighting one another. What a time that would be. At what age do you put your kids in the gym? My son is 4 and he's begging me to enroll him in the gym. Oh, that's a bit young. 4. That's a bit young. 4, that's very young. But maybe if he's not like, maybe if he's doing some of the physical stuff, might not be that bad. But 4's a bit young. 4's a bit young. You think David Lemieux has more power than Canelo? Your opinion is flat wrong. Lol. I don't think he has more power. I think he could. I do. I think Lemieux, one single shot, I've seen him knock people out cold. I do. He's a big, powerful puncher. Golovkin said Lemieux's got more power than Canelo. Abel Sanchez said Lemieux's a bigger puncher than Canelo. Well, Abel's wasn't the one taking the punches, but he said apparently Golovkin told him that Canelo, what's his name, Lemieux hits harder than Canelo. So yeah, my opinion was based on what he said. Lemieux punches very, very hard, very, very hard. Canelo's a way better fighter and way better boxer. Of course he is. So he was fighting Spence for sure in June. He brings more views. Yeah, he does. Khan has earned his respect. He deserves to be mentioned among the best. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, what's this? Burning Desire says, Hatton, Froch, Khan all tried against pound for pound and lost. I agree. Pacquiao, Khan tried twice. And I lost. I agreed. Pacquiao and Khan tried, lost. Kell Brooks' resume looks so weak. Having only won one big fight, Kell really needs another big win. What does it mean now, though? Doesn't mean a lot now. What does it mean now? It doesn't mean a lot now. Kell had his opportunity and he blew it, man. He should have achieved a lot more in the sport. Trust me. He should have achieved a lot more. Do you still work? I like your cheat day video a few years ago. Yeah, I do still work. I'll still go to the gym. I'm gonna go after. I'll put my fast today. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm glad you like that video. I did it a long time, that was ages ago. I think Warrington, to show his heart and right his wrongs, should sorry my post seem to be coming up a while after I posted. Maybe because I'm viewing from Facebook and not YouTube. But Warrington, if possible, should take the rematch. Yeah, it's a tough fight, though. It's a tough fight. And when you take fights like that, it's like your career's on the line, because if you lose again, your careers could be done, So let's hope, man. Let's hope that his career's on the line now. His career's on the line, and hopefully, Warrington can get the win. I hope Warrington can get the win and beat Lara, and then we can get to see some good fights in the division. I think there's some big fights there. Shakur Stevenson, there's the Galahad rematch. There's some big fights there, man. Big fights to be made here. I think Kell Brook beats Devon. I would agree. I think Kell Brook probably, yeah, you'd have to say he should beat Devon. Chances for Pac to beat Spence. Ooh. You know what? As you guys know, I'm a massive Pacquiao fan. I love Manny Pacquiao, but I don't know whether it's his time. I don't know whether Manny's gone past it. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It might be too late for him, but who knows? If anyone can do it, it's Manny Pacquiao, right? If anyone can, the legend can. So Devin Cruz, how are you, Devin? 7150, 70, 150, 155 KOs at 135, and he avenged that kiss. Amazing things, man. Who are you talking about? Duran? Is it true Duran's dad is Mexican? I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. So knockout investing life says, okay, fair enough. Conor Ben would put, who would you put him in with? You had the pro hour to progress him. Avanesian, man. That guy's calling for that fight. Avanesian wants to fight. Avanesian's a good fight. If he beats Avanesian, wow, Conor Ben's a beast. Yes, fight game. I hope you're well. Hope you're staying safe. Okay, so Benny, when do you go to the gym? Do you wipe everything down or do you allow it? Yeah, we wipe everything down. Yeah. I go. The gyms are open now anyway. I go after like around 8, 9 o'clock to the gym that I've always been going to. It's like a couple miles, 1 or 2 miles away from my house. And yeah, we do wipe everything down. What would you rather have, Imran? Power or speed if you could only have the one? Speed. Speed. I like the fact of having quick hands and being able to land a lot of punches on my opponent. Now, power is one where if you have power, you can knock a guy out with one punch, but a lot of guys that are powerful can be outboxed. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. How many calories do you try to consume? Two to 2,700 calories. Duran was 70-1 with 55 KOs at lightweight. Yeah, what a beast. Yeah, he was. Duran was a monster. Duran was one of the best. Like, come on, man, he was one of the best ever. Let's be real. He was one of the best ever. And he deserves a lot of credit. He deserves a lot of respect. He was a legend. Let's be real. He was a legend. An all-time great fighter. An all-time great. An all-time great. Duran was unbelievable. If the Pacquiao fight turns up against them and against Spence, he has a good chance. Yeah, possibly. Possibly does have a good chance. Possibly. What do you think of Frank Bruno's career? I think Frank Bruno was another one, like a good fighter. He beat some good names. I don't think his resume was that stacked. But again, I think he was a level below, maybe 1 or 2 levels below Lewis. Frank Bruno had power. He was strong and he was loved. He was very popular. But again, I think against the top guys, I think he would come up short. Tyson, Lewis, all the top guys would beat him, in my opinion. But again, and he was a good fighter, no doubt about it. He had his strengths. Definitely crack. He was a big puncher. But yeah, I think against the real top dudes, I think he would struggle. He would struggle. But again, I like Frank Bruno. I think Frank Bruno was a good fighter, no doubt about it. Definitely fight. I don't think any of us could say he couldn't fight. He was a great fighter, but just against the top boys, I think he would come up short personally. But I don't know what your guys' opinions about Frank Bruno are. Vladimir Wilder, who wins right now? Probably say Wilder. Vladimir's old now, and He's a big puncher. Big puncher. Where's Terry? Yeah, again, another guy, Terry Flanagan, that's just gone missing. I don't know where Terry Flanagan is. He's just gone missing, guys. Completely gone missing. Completely just disappeared. Disappeared, vanished. Almost vanished. Flanagan was a guy that was very, very highly rated at one point, and he just disappeared. He vanished. He vanished and disappeared, man. Surprising. I don't know what's happened with him, to be honest. I'm surprised that he just completely vanished off the circuit, to be honest. He lost to Maurice Hooker, didn't he? He lost to Maurice Hooker and then disappeared. Did you know Frankie Gavin has a job now? Really? What does he do? He did that interview recently with forgot his name. The journalist, I forgot his name. Really good, he has a YouTube channel. Very good journalist as well. He's disappeared now. What does he do? He cleans. No, that's rubbish. He doesn't. He cleans trains. What do you mean he cleans trains? What do you mean? He's a trainer. He's a trainer at the gym. Tris Dixon, yeah, Fight Gamer. That's it, Tris Dixon. What do you make of Callum Johnson's performance? Callum Johnson, very, very powerful, vulnerable but powerful. He's definitely got vulnerability, but he's powerful. He's big puncher. I think he could beat Boatsi. I think he could beat Yard. I think he could beat Arthur. I think he beat all of those guys. If I'm honest with you, he's got serious power and he looks a good fighter to me. I'd like to see him fight all of those guys. Tris Dixon. Okay, Jasweez Ariola says, good question here. Jasweez, where do you put Marquez as in the greatest of all time after legendary win against him? I think Marquez is not in the. I think Marquez is an all-time great, is a great, but not in the same kind of league as a Mayweather or Pacquiao. He's definitely a great, not in the same category though. Where do I put him? I don't know, maybe top. I don't know. That's a hard one because I don't know. There's too many great fighters and there's probably a lot of better fighters than Marquez, but he definitely deserves a great ranking for sure. Frankie Gavin works on trains, or he did for a bit. I don't think so. I think he's a trainer now. So I don't think he's working. I don't think he's working on trains anymore because I swear he was saying in that interview that he's training, he's coaching now. So I don't know. I don't know. I might be wrong. I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. But yeah, it's sad when these guys, Frankie Gavin was a very, very good amateur. And it's sad that he's not made. Are you getting any fighters on board? You know what? I've been so busy outside of this YouTube stuff. I'm going to 100%. I'm going to. I'm gonna speak to them on Instagram and get them on 100%. Watch, I will. For you guys, I 100% will. Definitely, I'll get them on. And we'll do some more stuff without question. Guys, what time do you want me to come on? Like, if we come on tomorrow, what time's better? What time do you want me to come on? What time shall I do these lives? Tell me what time you want me to do these lives. I'm going to probably do one tomorrow as well. What time do you want me to come on tomorrow? Tell me, give me a time. Come on late, about 9, around 9, 10. Right, okay. 7 or 7. Okay. Fair enough. Noted. Fair enough. Okay, what about anyone else? Who's our best hope at light heavy? Arthur, Boatsi, Yard. Johnson. I'm going Callum Johnson. I like Callum Johnson. I think Yard's all right. I think Boatsi's all right. I just think Johnson's a beast. I think Johnson's got too much power. He's massive as well. Like, when you look at him, he's huge. I'm going Johnson. I am actually going Johnson. Just we says 11 a.m. That's very early. Very early. 11 p.m. or a.m. It's very early. Give me the times, guys, so then I just want to see what's the best time for me to come on. Those who work away from home. Yeah. Yeah, 11 a.m. is too early, man. And then anyway, just Sweets, what country are you from? Because 11 a.m., if you're from another country, might be like 6 o'clock. You're like in the morning for you. If you're in America. Yeah, it's very early, man. It has to be like 5 o'clock or after work, for people here in the UK. 6:30, that's a good time. That's a good time. Actually, tomorrow I might do it at around 6:30. Might do it around 6:30. I think that's a brilliant time, actually. That probably suit. From Texas, yeah. In Texas, just recently, you'll be asleep at that time. 7 o'clock, maybe a good time for people. Yeah. Have you ever been to any boxing gyms abroad? No, no. I'd love to go. Where famous gyms, where famous guys train? No, I haven't. I'd love to go though. When I do go abroad, go to America, go to the wild card. Imagine that, going to the wild card. That'd be great. Yeah, 6:30 is good. Is good. Yeah, 6:30. I'll come out at 6:30. I might come off at 6:15, probably do 6:10, 6:15, and then do like a 2 hour stream like we've done today. Go to the wild card. I'd love to go to the wild card. Love to go to the wild card. The wild card, man, it's a great gym, man. Great gym. It's produced so many great fights. I would go to the Mayweather gym. That's another one. But all of these gyms are probably miles away from each other as well. America's such a big place. Yeah, such a big place. Kronk gym, yeah, that's another great gym. Great gym. So, guys, what I'm gonna do then tomorrow, I'll probably be on. If you could spar only one fighter, who would you spar, Imran? I wouldn't want to spar any fighter, to be honest with you. But if I would want to spar a fighter, one sec. So if you could spar, probably Mayweather, just to see how good he is and get schooled by him. So Jaswi says, my name, let's put this up. No, sorry, let's put this up. So my name is Jesus, but it is usually pronounced as Jesus, like in Spanish. So how do you say it? Is it Jesus or is it Jesuis? Jesuis. Am I saying it right? Or just Jesus or Jesuis? Just Jesuis. I think I'm saying that right. Okay. Any fighter in history. Yeah, Mayweather. No, any fighter in history. I have to say Muhammad Ali. You need to go to America on a fight week. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully. We can't fly at the minute. A Swiss. A Swiss. Frankie Gavin has his own gym. Yeah. That's what I mean. I swear he's coaching now. I swear he's coaching. A Swiss. He said that in that interview with Tris Dixon. Go watch it. He said that he's got his own gym. Just call me Choi. Choi. All right, I'll call you Choi. I remember now. I'll call you Choi. Frankie Gavin was thinking of going to. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Bare knuckle. Don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it. That would be terrible. That would not be that would not be good at all. Don't go to that. Don't go to that. That would not be good for you. I like Frankie Gavin, but he should never think about going there. That's dangerous. All right, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So tomorrow I'm gonna do it at 6:10. So guys, tomorrow I'll be on about 6:10 to 6:20, and then we'll do a good 2 hours, right? Chat and talk about boxing, talk about things in the boxing world, and we'll have a good chat. Have a good chat. Leave you guys. I appreciate it. I'm gonna head off now. Gotta record a few videos, and I'll see you. So Adam M just Spence already said it's a duck season. I mean strap season, and taking the Ugas fight. Yeah, he did. Duck season. I mean strap season. Do you think Fury lost his case? I don't know. I don't know. Hope not, because that delays Joshua. Yes, bro. Neymar, I'm just about to leave as well. Tomorrow, Neymar, I'm going to be coming on tomorrow. This time tomorrow. Thanks for the live video. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Choi. See you later, Imran. See you later, Richard. Spence beats Pacquiao. Easy work. He's just way bigger, possibly. Rashidi Ellis, mate. Yeah. Neymar, tomorrow. I'm going to be coming on around this time. I came on a bit early today. But today I did a 2-hour live. See you, Tommy, tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone. And yeah, make sure to come on 6:15 to 8:15 tomorrow. I will do a live before I open my fast. So 6:15 to 8:15, and we'll do a live together, discussing boxing, discussing the news going on. See you all tomorrow, guys. Take care. Stay safe. See you, Naima. Take care.